it, world. No more Mr. Good Guy.
Okay, we've got Chucky on the newly reworked Garden of Joy, which doesn't seem like it was hardly touched at all. It's very minor changes were made to the main building. I think that's it. If they want to make this map more fair, they need to do something about the main building's god windows and god palettes, but I doubt they'll do that. So, yeah, these changes are pretty insignificant. And I just saw recently, Scott Jun did a video where he placed Chucky in the low A, high B tier list of killers. I'm sorry, I completely disagree. I think the reason why Chucky is working so well for the time being against survivors is it really has nothing to do with his chase, nothing to do with his ability. I think it's the fact that survivors aren't used to going against him. Yeah, like every new killer, once people get used to playing against him, he will become a pushover. I really don't see how you can say he has a good chase ability when he moves at 110 speed and the easiest counter to him is just holding forward. It doesn't really matter if he can get survivors at pallets, and he can't get survivors at pallets all the time. He won't have his scamper ability. So, yeah, he might confuse them with his size, but as I said, that's a learning curve thing where once survivor players get more and more used to him, they will know how to adapt. They aren't going to go down as easily. They won't be as confused as easily by his size once people are used to playing against him. So I really don't know where people are coming from when they say he's a high tier killer. He's not. He's no Wesker. He's no Blight. He has zero map control. His movement speed actually hurts his ability to traverse the map in any meaningful way. How the hell did they make that angle? Okay, well, she stayed here, which is good for me, not good for them. So yeah, I don't know where people are getting this opinion where he's somehow up there with Blight, Wesker, and the other stronger killers of this game. Once survivors get used to going against him, he won't be. The only reason why people are, and myself included, are winning matches with Chucky is he's new. I would say that's the most significant advantage he has going for him right now. If you stick around and try and play mind games with him at loops, and survivors are smart, you're not going to get him. You're not going to get him. His 110 movement speed is just too much of a hindrance. And as I said, one of the biggest counters to him is just holding forward. I mean, I don't care how much behavior shrinks maps, and they're not, from my perspective, they're not shrinking them in any meaningful ways. I think Red Forest is still pretty problematic in terms of size. I haven't played on Red Forest yet, but from what I've seen on the PTB, it still looks like it's rather big. And there are other maps that are just ridiculously large, especially for a 110 killer. So the most effective counter to him will just simply be holding forward. And there's nothing that Chucky can really do about that. If he doesn't have his slice and dice ability, he's not going to be downing survivors very quickly, that's for sure. And he needs to down survivors quickly because, as you can see in this match, the gens at higher level just fly. I mean, there's no there's no way around it. So he definitely needs to get survivors on the ground as quickly as possible. And I just don't see that happening. And unfortunately, people like Jund and others, they tend to focus on the immediate future, like the immediate circumstances, not future, but circumstances surrounding how they're playing as Chucky.
I'm one of the good guys.
They don't focus on the long term. I'm more inclined to focus on the long term, and I see survivors easily adapting to Chucky, abusing tiles, wasting his time with holding forward. As I said, and I can't really stress it enough, the reason why matches seem so fun with him right now is because Survivor players do not know how to counter him. They don't know how to go against him. And once they get used to him, matches will be miserable. I'm calling it now. Future prediction. And he definitely won't be as strong as some people think he is. So, even being a new killer, I'm down to 1 gen. And I've got no one out of the match. So this is looking really bad for me. I just don't understand how people can think he's up there with Blight, Wesker, or any of the higher tier killers. It just boggles my mind that people think this killer is anything special. For the time being, he is, because people don't know how to go against him. But that's going to change. Now, if they decrease the cooldown on his hidey-ho mode, just something to help compensate for his slow speed, then yeah, I would agree. He's probably one of the stronger killers, but either that or just make him a 115 killer. I don't see why he is 110, yet Trickster's 115. It makes absolutely no sense. Yeah. He's fun now. It won't last, though. I doubt it'll last. Okay, this Claudette is really bad. That should have gotten her. So I definitely need to go after her. She's one of the weaker loopers, I would say. I would say this about Chucky. In terms of trash talk and flipping the survivors off, he is S tier. I mean, there's no question about that. But it's just funny to me how people think his stealth ability is something special. Like, oh, people see you because you use stealth when you're right on top of them. Well, there's really no other time to use it because it does have a timer. So if you go into hidey-ho mode when there's no one around and you can't find anyone, you've just wasted your ability for no reason. And then they're going to hear you coming anyway because you're constantly giggling. So it's not like you're in true stealth mode. Honestly, the best way to use hidey-ho is to, when you see a survivor at a strong pallet, and you can use his scamper ability. You're not going to be able to sneak up on people with this character. It's just, I don't think it can happen because he's always making noise in his undetectable mode.
I'm gonna kick your
It's not like Wraith where he's completely invisible and doesn't make any noise unless he's right on top of you. By then it's too late. With him you can hear him coming a good distance away, and he's not invisible, so his stealth mode's not really all that stealthy. Alright, well, we brought this one back from the brink. It was looking really bad there. As I said, this map received very little changes. Nothing meaningful. The outer tiles are still extremely unfavorable for Killer, as well as the main building. Wow, they moved the breakable wall. Big deal. I thought they were going to put a breakable wall in that dining room area, but there was none there. So that God window is still accessible from both sides. So that's brilliant design.